everyone, it's me, Lauren, and I'm back with another Draw With Me. But for this video, it is actually my first sponsor ever, so I will be unboxing the Artist 10 second generation from XPPEN. And stay tuned for the rest of this video because I will be hosting an art contest slash giveaway to win this very one that I'll be reviewing. So to be completely honest with you, this is actually going to be my second attempt at filming this because my first one got corrupted. And so when I open this box, you are going to see my very sad attempt at repackaging everything and making it look like I never opened it. And this beautiful art right here of my character Sydney is actually not drawn by me. It is done by another artist on Twitter who I love so much. I'm not going to say their name because I don't know how to pronounce it, but I will put it up here on the screen somewhere because you guys need to check them out. Their art is amazing. On to the unboxing. Excuse the haphazard attempt at putting this screen thing back on. Oh my god, just ew. Okay, I probably should not have done that. And it's upside down. It should be this way instead. Wow. I'm just a mess. It's always satisfying to tear it off. It's so tiny and small and just like look at it. It's so cute. So aside from the tablet, the package does come with a pen. So it comes with instructions on how to set it up, comes with a wiping cloth, a glove, and all the cords you will need to connect it to your PC. And this has not 10 but 11 extra nibs, so there is 12 nibs that they give you right off the bat. 11 in here, and then 1 already in the pen. Compared to this one that I use, which is the 15.6, this is how it fares in size. It is very small, which I don't mind because I started out drawing on a screen itself with an iPad mini, which is definitely smaller than this. It's probably like half the size of this, like this. So recording this was just a journey, honestly, because I started to redraw one of my old artworks of a green-haired girl with braids, and it was turning out amazing. I sketched it, I did the line art, and then I looked at OBS and realized that I never hit record. So for this video, it will only be the overpainting step, which is honestly fine because it means that you guys will get to see a lot more of the overpainting step, which will be less sped up. But the bad part is that all the footage of me initially adjusting to this very small tablet and to using the buttons, it doesn't exist. So I'll just be showing you the sketch and the line art, and I'm just really sorry for that. This tablet is also not a touchscreen, just like the 15.6, so I'm a lot used to that, and so it wasn't a problem with me. So I wanted to talk about this character that I will be redrawing, and this first image is the first time I created her. It's the first time I designed her. It was in 2015. I redrew her again in 2015 with a different style. I had improved quite a bit, and then once again in like 2017, I think, is when I drew this, which was another huge improvement. And then once again in, I believe, 2019, which is, I believe, the biggest improvement, and I haven't drawn it since. So now I will be redesigning her once again, and I'm so excited to color her. For the sake of this review, I actually wanted to use the buttons on the side like exclusively for this drawing, even though I never ever use the buttons on the side of a tablet. For my 15.6 XPPEN tablet, I have never used the buttons because it's just uncomfortable for me, but these buttons are a bit closer together, and so I was like, you know what, why not? Let's make it a challenge to just use these buttons. But my brain is small and I can't remember which ones are which, so I had to put some good old artist tape on it. To be honest, using the buttons was not a good experience. It felt like it was restricting me because I still had to take my hand and put it on my keyboard to like use my other keyboard shortcuts like changing brushes and stuff. And at one point I do give up. I do give up and just use my keyboard, but I try my best for like maybe 80% of this entire drawing to use the buttons. But sometimes you will see my hand disappear, and that is because I genuinely just forget that I'm supposed to be using the buttons, and then I start using my keyboard again. You also have to kind of like press the buttons a little harder than you might think. And so the button that you see that I have assigned to C, I use it a lot because it's what changes your brush to transparency, and that's how I erase the majority of the time. And so I a lot of the times I would click that, or I would click Alt right underneath it to color pick, and it wouldn't like do it because I wasn't clicking it hard enough, or I wasn't pushing it hard enough. And I would just be like, oh my god, like I have to push harder. And then it was like I was tiring out my other hand by doing Control Z and by flipping the canvas. And it's just, I just don't like using the buttons, but they are there if you do like to use them. Personally, I hate it. So a little bit more about my opinions on the tablet. This is $150 more or less, which is amazing for a display tablet, at least compared to a drawing tablet, which is around $100 normally. The first one I ever bought was $100 or $99, and I would have much rather saved up for something like this. Now, concerning the size of this tablet, since it is 10 inches, it's very small, it's very cute, but the resolution is still 1080. Now, because of this, it's actually a little difficult to work with because the resolution is so high on such a small screen. So I tried to mess around with it, and I tried to lower the resolution so that the buttons wouldn't be so small and so that the letters wouldn't be so small. Quality would decrease if I decreased the resolution, obviously, and so I had to stick with 1080. And at the time, I didn't think of it, but I probably could have like zoomed in on the interface on Clip Studio and made things a lot easier for myself. But what I noticed was when color picking, because once again there are so many pixels being crammed into this small screen, so when color picking, I would want to color pick this one specific color that is like almost like pixel perfect, which I would usually be able to get on my 15.6, but then I would pick like the wrong color on this small tablet basically, which isn't too much of a problem because I could always just zoom in more. But because I was using the buttons, I was like, dang it, I don't want to, like, I can't zoom in so much because I have to press these buttons. And that was just like a problem for me personally because I was giving myself a challenge to use these buttons. But if I was just using my keyboard and I could willingly and easily zoom in anytime and every time I wanted to, then the color picking wouldn't be such a big problem. For the sake of this video, I guess I just like turned it into a problem for myself. But I don't think it is exactly too much of a downside because you can always change the resolution, you can always change the interface size on Clip Studio. And it was at this point that I got too frustrated with the buttons, and so I stopped using them. Now, considering the size outside of resolution, I honestly really liked it. It kind of reminded me of working on an iPad, but less slippery. So it was like, it's kind of like a better iPad. And drawing on this tablet is almost like the opposite of slippery. It is like, it grips your pencil, in my opinion, or at least from how I was feeling the sensitivity of the pen on the screen. it felt like this screen had a bit more grip than the 15.6, but that might just be because my 15.6's screen is a little bit more worn down. It has some scratches here and there. Or it could be the pen nib because it's much more new than the one that I'm currently using. It just felt good. Like you know, like how traditional paper feels like you really have to kind of like drill in there with your pencil to get the pressure that you want. That's how this pen felt, and I really liked it. I really, really liked it. I wish that this is how my 15.6 felt now, but it is like kind of aging. But I still will be keeping my 15.6 instead of using this small tablet. I personally didn't run into any like technical problems with it. I think it was amazing. I really wish that I had this when I first started with digital art. I'm like jealous of the beginner artists in this day and age that they can possibly have this as an option instead of just defaulting to like a Wacom Intuos. Because that's what I did. My very first one was the first model of the Wacom Intuos, and it was very jarring to get used to. But if this Artist 10 was out when I began, I would have, like, this would have been my first option. I could have saved up like a couple more $20 bills from relatives and I would have been able to afford this. But I mean, ignoring the size, it's a great tablet, at least for the amount of time that I used it. I didn't run into any problems with the drivers and calibration or the colors. I was able to adjust the colors exactly to how I wanted them, and it was just a good experience overall. So I really would recommend this, and I'm not just saying that because this is sponsored. So the entire process of this drawing, I did it in one sitting because I was determined to use this tablet and use it well. I don't know what I'm saying, but it was really fun. I have always loved working with green, but picking the shades has always been difficult because there are so many different shades of greens and there's so many combinations that you can go with when it comes to matching it with other colors. And I'm really happy with the colors that I chose. Over the years, my style has definitely taken like a more colorful turn, and it's almost like kidcore, I guess. If you like go on Pinterest and you look up kidcore, like that's what I thrive for. And it's what I base a lot of my character designs on, is kidcore, because it uses a lot of primary color combinations, a lot of yellows, a lot of reds, and a lot of blues together. And sometimes the yellows turn into oranges, and sometimes the reds turn into pinks, the blues turn into purples, but they all still go really well together because naturally the primary colors will go well together even if you switch them around on the color wheel. So I've always been drawn to colorful color schemes. And if you go back and look at the old drawings of this character, my colors were very dull, and I was like, for some reason, very intent on using the same shade of green for the hair. It's like I put restrictions on myself for no reason. Like I was like, you can't change your outfit, you can't change your hair color, you can't change your hairstyle, you can't change your hat. And it was just like, why was I making these rules for myself? And so the moment that I finally found the style and colors that I loved is the moment that I let go of any sort of rules that governed my art style. And if I saw something that I liked, I just went for it and I tried it. And I was like, I really like saturated colors, so why not just like go crazy with the saturation in my art. And now here I am with bright green hair on a character. I think even if I redrew this in like 2020 or last year, I probably would have still kept up with those same rules. I probably would have chosen the same hair color, but then I still would have kept the sun hat and I still would have kept the boring old black dress or something like that. Now I have really grown to just stop following just these rigid rules for no reason. So talking about the actual redraw itself and the experience of redrawing this character, it was honestly kind of euphoric. After such a big batch and grueling batch of August commissions, I worked on this for myself and it felt so good to just draw something that I wanted to draw, and it was for me. And yes, it is for this video and for the sponsor, but it is something that I have been looking forward to drawing for a very, very long time. And this character has a special place in my heart because she was one of my first designs, and like at the top of my head, I just know that I wanted her to have green hair. And for some reason I went with braids, and so I wanted to keep that the same. But I changed the shade of green, less to like a grassy green, but more to a neon green because I really love bright colors lately. I'm having her hold the pen for this tablet because I wanted it to be XPPEN themed. And in every single redraw, she is always still wearing like some sort of dark shirt or dress, and so I also wanted to keep that theme the same, and she is wearing a white hat. But the thing with these sun hats that I would draw is that I actually hated drawing them. Like, I just hate drawing hats in general, but I'd never drawn a bucket hat before, and you could add pretty cute designs on bucket hats, so I was like, why not draw a bucket hat instead of a stupid sun hat? So I did. I also wanted to include stars in the design because I had included stars in the background before in the older versions of this artwork, and I wanted to put like stickers in her braids just to kind of give them a little bit more flair. And instead of a fully black shirt, I went with a striped, like kind of like bluish black shirt, like a navy black. Not navy black, navy blue. And I'm just really happy with how the design turned out, honestly. And speaking of design, this is a time where I will be talking about the art contest that I want to host, where you can win this exact tablet that I am using. So instead of a straight up giveaway, I wanted to do an art contest because while I do want to give back to my audience, I do want to make sure that it goes to someone who I know will be using it and making use of it. And so instead of just a regular giveaway where all you have to do is like comment or something like that, I want to do an art contest. I've always had icky feelings towards contests where you have to draw like someone else's character. Basically what happens is all these people enter and draw the same character, and it's just a bunch of free art for the host. And I don't want that. I don't want free art from you guys. And so I want you to draw for yourself. I want you to pick one of your original characters, or even just a character from a franchise that you want to draw fan art of if you don't have original characters. And I want you to design an outfit for them. I love character design. I would really love to see what you can come up with. So this design for your character must be frog themed. I've been loving frogs lately, and I want to see some frog themed outfits. You can make it edgy frogs, you can make it goth frogs, you can make it cute cottagecore frogs. You can do whatever you want with it, as long as it has frog theme in it. You can choose any type of frog too. I've been really loving the desert rain frogs because they're round and pudgy and angry looking all the time. But that's up to you. It won't give you like extra points or anything like that. So I will be choosing 2 winners, and for both of those winners, I will be drawing the characters in the outfits that they designed. And I'll dedicate an entire video to that, but only the first prize winner will be receiving the tablet in the mail. And I'm going to be trying my best to repackage it and make it look like I never used it in this video, okay? But it might be a little scuffed. But obviously for COVID and safety reasons, I will be hardcore sanitizing it before it gets shipped out. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I will set up a Google Docs, which will be linked in the description for you to enter. As for the deadline, it will be there in the form also. I want to give you guys plenty of time to do these drawings. I don't want you to be in a rush. But yeah, I'm super excited to see some submissions. And my goal with this is obviously to give someone a tablet and know that they'll be using it to draw. First and foremost, I want people who do participate in this to feel like they got something out of it despite not winning. Because even if you don't win, I want you to feel proud of what you have designed because it is yours. It's not mine, it's yours. It's for your character and you created it. And I want you to be proud of it no matter what the outcome of this contest is. And yeah, that is the details of the art contest, and this is the finished product of my redraw, and it was super fun. And I encourage you guys to redraw some of your own old stuff. But aside from that, thank you so much XPPEN for sponsoring this video, and thank you for watching it and supporting me all throughout the way. I just reached 20k subs and I don't know how to express my gratitude. It is honestly, it warms my heart to know that people like my content. It is like a dream come true to start building a community like this on YouTube. And I'm trying not to get sappy, so I'm just gonna stop talking now and say once again, thank you for all the support, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. And yeah, that's it for today. Goodbye.